if you say no.
I think I pointed this out back in the previous LP, but it is kind of cool.
I like to think that if you fly on a fainted Pokemon, they're just like constantly flopping to the ground for like an hour.
Yeah.
And like you're not actually flying, you're just like standing on them and walking all the way back yourself.
Skating on its corpse, pretty much. Whew. Okay. So...
You know, like, what even does the Xbox Series X have at this point?
I know,
like,
yeah. No, all I was saying was,
even discounting the fact that everything, like, cool looking forward is not coming out at launch, for the first several years, they've confirmed that everything that's going to be releasing on that, at least from their first-party studios, is going to be, like, also on Xbox One. So it's like, what purpose do we really have to get a new Xbox if we already had the old one? Or
yeah.
Hell, if you have a PC, there's no reason to get it at all, because, I mean, everything's going to be on PC, too. Probably run better.
Yeah. I mean, hell, we actually have the proper Halo series on PC now, which is something we thought we'd never see for a long time.
Well, we still don't have ODST, I think, but apart from
I thought we did, but... oh.
Not yet. That's, like, next up, and then Halo 4.
Oh, well, yeah, so we're going to have everything, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, the golden era of the 360 is, like, one of my favorite eras of gaming that I will always look back extremely fondly on, because, like, the membership at the time was, like, to put it into perspective, if you just bought the little monthly packages, it was cheaper than Netflix. If you could save even more if you bought, like, a year package or something like that. And it actually did have, like, a lot of cool features on there that you could get for, you know, having the gold membership, and plus, you know, it had a really big, thriving community, you know, actual...
Yeah. They have, like, exclusive demos or something.
Yeah, and they had stuff like 1 versus 100 that you could play even without having to buy it as long as you had gold. And then, like, yeah, right at the end, like, the midpoint or end of 2010... they completely overhauled the UI for Kinect, and it was like the ugliest shit. It was like this blinding white everything. Like, obviously before dark modes were ever a thing.
Yeah, I remember they, like... I always hear, like, they revise the layout and everything, like, constantly, and then, like, every time they did that, nobody liked the new design.
Well, yeah, because the first design they had for the dashboard was like these tabs you would scroll through, and that was pretty good. It did the job. And then the second one was actually my favorite. It was called like NXE or something like that. That one I liked a lot because it was like dark blue and like really easy to navigate and all that. And then like I also noticed that when they changed all that stuff, everything ran slower, like, as if old Xboxes couldn't handle it and they wanted you to just, like, spring for a Slim.
I wonder if part of that's just because, like, they still had to have the old data on there or something, and they were just, like, running a front end.
Yeah, like, I noticed that things ran significantly slower the day that update dropped.
Yeah, 'cause, like...
And there just weren't as many good games coming out either.
Yeah, like, when did you get a PS3 again? I know it was...
I didn't get a PS3 until 2014, actually.
Yeah, after the...
PS4 was already out, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a Wii in 2009.
Yeah, well, we got ours in, like, 2011, and... like, the PlayStation Store at the time had already had one revision, because, like, apparently originally it was literally just a web browser.
Oh, yeah.
But by the time we had gotten it, it was a little more, like... it was kind of a basic-looking store, but it was functional enough. Like, you could do pretty much anything you needed to on it. And then eventually they decided to update it to what the PS4 has right now. and it runs like hot garbage on
Oh
PS3.
god. That does sound pretty bad.
Like, have you ever used that that store? Did you ever use that when you had your PS3, like before it got dead?
When did that update drop?
Like 2012, I want to say. It wasn't too long before the PS4 came out, so I
Oh, so yeah, I probably did. I don't have
Yeah.
much memory of it, but I very probably did
I'm
have an
surprised-
experience with that.
I'm surprised the PS4 hasn't had a store update since, because
Yeah.
it had the same store since launch. And I know Microsoft's like updated the Xbox One a bunch since then, because I'm stupid and own an Xbox One.
Yeah. So, I have to confess something up front here. You know how the AVGN kind of has that meme of, like, not being able to land the plane in Top Gun?
Yeah.
Well, that is kind of a similar thing with me here with Kyogre. I've never, without a Master Ball anyway, never been able to catch Kyogre. Matter of fact, when I was 10, I had him down to like red health, sleeping and everything, and I just couldn't catch the bastard, and I ran out of balls and like, no lie, just threw my fucking GBA down in frustration and smashed that thing to bits. So this time I want to redeem myself. I want to see if I can actually catch this thing without using the Master Ball. I can't remember if I caught Groudon in my Ruby LP or not. That doesn't matter now. All that matters is we are here to take this legendary beast on. Unfortunately, Double Down is going to go down.
Congratulations. For some reason, this is reminding me of, like, one time when I was, like, a really young kid and, like, just got Fire Red. And, like, I think I pissed one of my brothers off at some point, and in retaliation, he just, like, booted up my copy of Pokemon Fire Red and wasted my Master Ball on, like, Pidgey or something.
Oh, damn.
And then
That's
saved.
rough. That's pretty rough.
Yeah. That was sad.
I will break my usual rule and use revives here if I have to, but hoping it doesn't come to that.
Yeah, like, I guess to kind of lead off from the whole Xbox thing in, like, a slightly more positive direction. Like, did you see the Halo and stuff that came out recently?
The trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah. You showed it to me.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
It looks interesting enough. I know there was, like, a lot of people complaining that, like, it had pop-in or something like that.
It doesn't look next-gen, even though it's just an Xbox One game that happens
Yeah.
to be port. I remember people had similar complaints about Breath of the Wild, even though this
Yeah.
was even as powerful as a base Xbox One. I don't know what they were expecting there. I can kind of at least see it with Infinite, because, you know, it's at least going to be on the next-gen consoles.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think it looks fun.
Yeah.
I
It looks...
obviously,
I like that they kind of brought the older aesthetic back instead of, like... Because as much as I didn't mind the... I didn't mind the aesthetic of Halo 4 that much. I understand a lot of people did because it was so different.
Yeah. Like obviously I didn't have an Xbox until like 2010, so I didn't play the Halo games as a kid. But, I mean, having played them recently, I can say that the new one, like Infinite, does look fun to me. Like, some visual stuff does look a little bit rough, like that, that guy whose face people keep reposting everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that looks a bit,
Off. A little hokey.
yeah. But apart from that, I mean, the game looks fun. Like, the one thing that kind of irks me is that they still have sprinting in, which...
Yeah, which...
yeah.
I was never... I mean, and Reach was the first game to have that, you gotta realize.
Yeah, sort of. Like...
Sins of the father, I guess.
Reach had, like, the armor abilities, which... They had more than just sprinting, but aside from, like, the jetpack, sprinting was the only one that was actually useful.
Yeah. Well, Armor Lock was ridiculously broken. I don't know, I think they patched something about it, but Armor Lock used to be, like, the bit, like, the easy mode shit back then.
Yeah. Like, also, sprinting was kind of necessary because maps in Reach were huge.
Yeah, they were sizable.
Yeah. Like, even... I remember you saying a lot that you didn't like how big the maps in Halo 1 were, but...
Yeah, you kind of felt small, I guess.
Yeah, but even those weren't quite as gigantic as the maps in Reach felt.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you needed that sprint to be able to get anywhere fast.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 and 3 have always been my favorite, particular Halos of the bunch.
Yeah, like I think you probably saw me like when I was starting to play the series about, was it earlier this year or the year before? I want to say earlier this year. Like I know you saw them when I was like first
Yeah,
playing.
on like your backloggery and all that good stuff.
Yeah, like I didn't like Halo 1 at all when I was like first starting to play the series, and then eventually I got used to how it worked and was like, oh, this is actually fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I started, funny enough, with Halo 3 on the 360 back when it came out, and then I went back and played 1 when they very first started putting, what do you call them, like, digital games for actual download on the Xbox Marketplace.
Yeah.
And that was nice.
Didn't 2, like, never come to that?
To my knowledge, it never did, no.
It's so weird.
Damn it, I hate Terrence.
I know it had an apparently kind of bad, like, Windows Vista port.
Yeah, it was the Games for Windows Live version that nobody liked.
Yeah. Like, I think part of why I didn't like Halo at first is just because I was trying to play, like, the new Doom games, which I had always been told were, like, a lot like Halo, so I would, like, try to play them exactly like that.
Yeah.
Well, claims of that were a little bit exaggerated, partially because Master Chief doesn't move as fast as Doom Guy did in those games.
True, true.
But yeah, I can kind of see the comparisons, but also if you try to play them like they're the exact same game, yeah. Since I guess like the feel of them is similar in a sense, because they're like first-person shooters where you actually kind of have a tactical reason to jump ever.
Yeah, and in fact, they used to, like, always call that a Halo jump back when, like, that series was, to quote a certain streamer, white-hot popular. Now, I do have one timer ball. I could hang on to that and... But I'm gonna try to huck some balls at this thing now. Let's see.
I remember when,
Not a
like,
chance.
I remember when, like, everything was a Halo killer.
Oh, I remember that phrase. Yeah, no, like, it's funny to think. There was a time when, like, people considered Halo overrated. Like, it was, like, everywhere. And then right around, like, Reach, just kind of nobody cared anymore.
It's kind of weird to think that Halo was, like, the big bro shooter game of its era.
Yeah.
Like,
Far and away.
yeah, Yeah, considering it has a lot of stuff that like appeals to like turbo nerd and a lot of people.
Yeah, it's very lore heavy, all things considered. Like,
Yeah, it's like lore heavy. It has like actual like considered campaigns as opposed to like Call of Duty, which generally the consensus is that the campaigns there's like tutorials for the multiplayer or something like that.
yeah, I mean, again, I liked the story of the Modern Warfare trilogy, but other than that, I was never all that crazy about them. I thought Black Ops was a terrible series. Black Ops 1 is probably my least favorite COD that I've actually touched. And again, that came out in 2010 as well, just like...
It's also so strange that we're finally out of the era where like all the kids are playing the big like M-rated like shoot bang games.
Yeah.
On their Xboxes.
It's not
like,
as much of like a meme as it was.
Yeah, I mean kids still play like Fortnite or whatever, but that's like a T-rated shoot bang, and honestly I kind of get the feeling there's like the shoot bang is less important in Fortnite than a lot of the auxiliary stuff.
So I'll go ahead and use the
Like,
timer wall.
Because again, as I've said earlier in this, I work retail now in like the electronics section of the Walmart, so I kind of get a feel for what the kids are into now a little more than I otherwise would have. And nowadays, whenever I see a kid come into the game section, either they're looking to buy a copy of Fortnite, which is hilarious because it's a free game.
Yeah, you told me about that. That was like one of the funnier things you had
That's
mentioned.
happened like 3 times. Yeah, like, or they're looking to find like one of those like T-rated horror games. You know, stuff like Bendy and the Ink Machine or like Hello Neighbor.
Now that's Fortnite in real life, as Badlands Chugs would say. Yeah, I'm getting so many flashbacks right now from being a kid. Like, he's running out of his moves, obviously, because he's using Calm Mind after he's already gotten everything to max. So he'll probably start struggling pretty soon. I'm wary of Ice Beam because I am a grass type right now, so...
Oh god, you know what just popped in my head? Did I ever tell you the story of the guy who like wanted me... who like asked me if I knew when the PS5 was supposed to come out?
No, you didn't tell me about that. What,
Okay, so like this kind of like black guy who like looked around my height, was wearing like all black, had like a black cap on, seems to be bald, but maybe he had more hair under the cap, I don't know. Like, he came up to me and was like, hey, do you know when the PS5 is going to be coming out? And I'm like, no, sorry, they haven't announced that yet, so I'm about as in the dark as y'all are. I was like, alright, well, I need that.
I need that.
And he started, like, bringing up these, like, like, obviously bullshit specs about it. Like, he claimed that he heard it was going to have a networking level processor in it.
Yeah.
And 64 gigabytes of RAM. And I'm
Holy
like,
shit.
that seems a little bit exaggerated. And then he started claiming this is like for the professional version, which they hadn't announced. They've not announced the professional version. I was like, and then he was basically asking me if I could like get him on the waiting list for that, which, you know, we don't have. We're a Walmart.
A waiting list? Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm like, alright, well, I'll see what I can do, but I mean, Sony hasn't even like put out pre-orders or anything. They haven't even announced the price for it. And then he started telling me about how on the dark web they had announced it was going to be $799 actually. And I'm like,
I am resolute and I am energized.
hell
I am motivated and I am invincible. Holy shit, guys. What am I now, 27? 17 years later, I finally caught Kyogre without using the Master Ball. Fuck yeah.
damn, I feel like Caveman when Chibi did the jumping jacks.
Good job, guy I don't know. Alright, what do I name this boy?
I think you should name him after our good Jumping Jack's friend. Don't name him like Chibi. Name him like because that's dead naming him. He goes by like Aquana or something.
Oh yeah. Dead naming somebody's online handle. No, you can't call me Avoid Spilled Juice anymore, guys.
Dead naming it's this guy. God.
Here, I'll name it in honor of him. There we go. Oh, that's dope.